Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Dini Shaikal bin Azmai. Metric number 1190877. Today, me and my group will present to you about our topic research, perceived employability among final year students. First, in the part of this introduction is background of study. For several decades, educators, researchers and employers have expressed the concern about the extent to which graduates from Malaysian tertiary institutions are being prepared for the world of work. The result from the Malaysian Department of Statistics in 2032 showed that 3.6 million Bumiputra people graduate in 2031, and the participation percentage of Bumiputra graduate in the labour force was only 88.5% for men and 81.9% for women. This employment rate among Bumiputra grads was 5.0% for males and 4.3% for women. The difficulty of finding a job that fits their credential is one of the problems that graduates face after they graduate. And according to the Graduate Tracer study conducted by the Ministry of Higher Education, 14.5% or 41,467 Malaysian graduates will be unemployed in 2031. This includes graduates from both public and private university, polytechnics, community college and state institute for skills training affiliate with the various ministers. This shows there is a big number of unemployed graduates in Malaysia, and we will identify the factors of self-perceived employability. Part of the problem statement, there is mismatch between several factors and employment when the education and training system does not deliver the standard demand by the labour market. It might also occur when there is no employment available that matches an individual's qualification. The most typical sort of mismatch with which recent graduates are challenges include skill gap, soft competency, educational qualification, and physical appearance, and also disparity. The primary cause of skill gap is graduate lack of the job skill or experience required by the companies or sectors. Nonetheless, in an economy with few suitable positions and fierce competition among the job searchers, it is normal for graduates to work in industry unrelated to their degree or career objective. Some are even prepared to accept jobs that are under their skills and pay less if they are employed. In this instance, they are considered overqualified and underqualified. The research objective is to determine the psychometric qualities, in example, validity and reliability of a graduate self-perceived individual employability questionnaire was thus. The major purpose of this research presented in this work. The primary purpose of this questionnaire is to explore the perspective of senior and undergraduate students on employment and employability, as well as their tactics and proactive measures regarding the topic of graduate employability. And for the next issue is significance of research. Our research contributes to a deeper knowledge of how fresh graduate and student in their final year evaluate their employability, and the final year student and undergraduate student will get benefit from this study because they will understand the significance of the factors affecting self-perceived individual employability. This research will make the student aware of areas that need to be improved in order to secure a job after graduation, and they have a strong probability of receiving the several offers from different companies and can compete effectively with other graduates from diverse colleges. Further researchers might benefit from this study because they may learn some information that they might need for their own research and might be able to get some of their questions addressed. For the literature review, employability qualities are generic in nature and consist of the cognitive and soft skills that allow an individual to apply the acquired knowledge and skills. Since education and training contribute to a person's development beyond the academic years, it is essential, especially for university students, to develop a variety of personal attributes and employability skills beyond the specific abilities in an academic or vocational discipline. In addition, employers place a high priority on the development of employability skills, which is especially in graduates, because this ability helps a person obtain, maintain and perform successfully in a job. And for the soft competency, which is the numerous empirical research regardless of their focus on shift in employment patterns in occupation requiring soft competency, having demonstrated the growing significance of soft skill, cooperation, productivity, effective communication, stress resistance and customer orientation are the 5 most crucial soft skills for successful work. After the first independent variable, which is about the soft competency, we move to the next part, which is about education qualification. Education qualification, there is a normalization when perception on lifelong learning, education level obtained, and depending on their academic credential. And job readiness is in order to attain lasting employment. Nowadays, youth are more likely to complete their higher education in order to obtain their preferred career and a good wage. Malaysian youth nowadays believe that a bachelor degree, diploma or certificate determine a stable and well-paying career. We move to the third independent variable, which is physical appearance. Employers' underestimation of impaired workers' capability are cited as one of the leading causes of their discouragement. It has been acknowledged that disabled personnel may be subjected to workplace discrimination based on a variety of criteria, including physical appearance, especially in service industries such as manufacturing, banking, wholesale, and retail trade that deal directly with the public. Professional appearance benefit both the individual and the reputation and image of the firm, and a well-kept professional appearance provide a significant advantage in employment. Now we move to the fourth independent variable, which is about experience. Candidates that have amassed experience in a relevant position are generally well versed in industry issues, market pressure, and customer demand. Experience that can see them hit the ground running if they manage to secure the job. The graduate's employability skills are average, which may impede their employment possibilities. Therefore, it is advised that universities should make greater efforts to assist students in acquiring the employability skills required by a variety of enterprises. For the last part of self-perceived individual employability in the independent variable, which is about generic skill. Generic skill is a critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and argumentation, and also problem-solving skill, usually referred to cognitive skill and higher order thinking skill, as well as 21st century competence and future employees literacy.
My name is Saratul Husna binti Muhammad. My metric number is 1190841. Let's move to the research methodology. The adopted methodology for this paper was a quantitative research approach where the information or data can be collected and measured for statistical treatment. Under quantitative method, have several analyses for collecting data. This paper used descriptive analysis to analyze demographic profile for respondents. We visualize our data using graphs, scatter plot, and frequency tables to look for trends. We also distribute a questionnaire with a rating scale to all the students from University Sains Islam Malaysia. The non-probability sampling technique was also used in this study to determine the research sample. We choose judgment sampling, wherein the choice of sample item depends exclusively on our knowledge and professional judgment. In other words, we only select sample item that we feel to be the best representative of the population with respect to the properties or characteristics under our investigation. So we take an approach to the university students as they are closely related to the problem that we want to discuss and solve. Last but not least, SPSS, Statistic Package for the Social Science. It is a flexible and adaptable that can perform a range of a data procedure. Besides, it provides data interpretation for descriptive statistics, numeric performance, estimate, and group description.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is MDB3032. For the next section, I want to explain about the result analysis. So I want to brief about a little bit about our introduction in this research study. In this research study is to examine the perceived employability among finalist students. We are conducted our survey via online using a Google Form platform that open within 1 month. In this our survey that have 121 respondents that consists dependent variable, independent variable, and demographic variable. For the dependent variable, that is self-perceived individual employability, and for the independent variable that have 5 factors. Number 1 is soft competency, number 2 is education qualification, number 3 is physical appearance, number 4 is experience, and the last one is generic skill.
Next, we move to the finding results. The first factor is soft competency. In this table shows the statistic on the first factor. There are mean, median, and mode was analyzed. The expected value, commonly known as the mean of a statistical distribution with a continuous random variable, is calculated by integrating the product of the variables probability as described by the distribution. The highest mean was 6.36 for the third question, which is, I believe positive attitude to the work is important for me to get hired, while the lowest mean in the data was in the fourth and fifth question, which is, I believe accurate listening skills are important for me to get hired, and I believe leadership skills are important for me to get hired, showed 5.97 mean. The highest mean suggests that most respondents were in agreement with that variable. The lowest standard deviation shows that opinion on the particular variable are stable. Next, we can see the median. The highest median in the table was 7.0 in two questions, second and third question. The question was, I believe effective communication skills are important for me to get hired, and I believe positive attitude to the work is important for me to get hired. The other question showed the lowest median, which was 6.0 respectively. So, next we go through the results for factor number 2, which is education qualification. The highest mean in this factor is seen by the first question, industry-related awards and recognitions are important, that get 5.73. The lowest mean goes to the last question, which is institution-related is a factor when applying for a job, which is 5.21. The highest mean indicates that the majority of respondents agreed with that variable. The lowest standard deviation indicates a steady range of viewpoints for the given variable. The term average is frequently used to describe this measure of central tendency. When population samples are limited, the mean is susceptible to extreme scores. The closer the mean and median are, the greater the population sample, which is number of scores is. In actuality, the mean and median of a perfect bell curve are the same.
Next, I will explain about frequency under descriptive analysis for the third factor, which is physical appearance. Regarding to the table, the question of good grooming plays an important role, and good hygiene is a significant factor in employment, have the same mode, which is 7, indicates the highest choice among students. Furthermore, good grooming plays a significant role, has the greatest mean of 5.9, while high is an advantage for fresh graduates, indicates the lowest mean of 4.14. Lastly, the highest median from the data is 6, which is represented by good grooming plays an important role, and good hygiene is a significant factor in employment. Next, according to factor 4, experience, the question of on-the-job training in similar field are important and workshop in related field are important, have the same mode, which is 7, indicating the highest frequency of student responses. This tendency is attributed to the on-the-job training, which is a low-cost method of onboarding that boosts employee confidence. Students can build skills that are especially useful for specific vocation or work contexts, stressing a learn by doing approach and encouraging career investment. Following that, the question on the job training in related discipline are vital, has the highest mean of 6.08, while the question industry related seminar is significant, has the lowest mean of 5.79. Finally, the greatest median from the data is 6, which is reflected by all factors.
For the factor 5 generate skill that have 4 questions, number 1 is I can adapt easily to any situation. Number 2 is I can express my idea in my words. Number 3 is I can understand the pupil need. Number 4 is I can convince other in my word. For the statistic, the highest mean is in the question number 1 that have 5.69, and the lowest one is in the question number 4 that have 5.46. For this statistic, that represent the average value for a data set, and it's important to giving an idea to center value for the data set, and the statistic for the median and the mode that have a same amount for the all question, which is a 6. For the last factor, dependent variable, self-perceived individual employability that consists 6 questions. For the statistic, the highest mean is in the question number 4, which amount 5.74, and the lowest one is in the question number 1 that have amount 5.17. For the statistic median, the question number 1 and 2 that have a same amount that is 5, and the following question number 3, 4, 5 and 6 that have a same amount which is 6. For the mood statistic, in this vector that have all same amount for the 6 question which is 6.
For the reliability test, we use Statistical Package for Social Sciences, which is SPSS, to examine data. The result of a reliability test revealed that the Cronbach alpha for all variables was higher above the permitted range. The closer the score to 1.0, it is become more reliable and better. Let's look at the table. Soft competency and experience Cronbach alphas was 0.928 and 0.911, which result turns out to be excellent. Next, education qualification score is 0.760 that indicated acceptable reliability. For physical appearance, generic skill, and individual employability, the reliability test shows these questions have good results, which are 0.801, 0.872, and 0.890 representatively.
We move to the next part of presentation, which is inferential analysis, which consists of multiple regression analysis. Based on the findings, 3 hypotheses were confirmed by multiple regression, while the other 3 were disproved. The findings demonstrated that the generic skills characteristics do have a substantial influence on an individual's perception of their employability. Soft competences, on the other hand, showed the reverse, having little to no effect on the dependent variable. Generic skills therefore have a greater impact on an individual's self-perceived employability than soft ability. In the workplace, there is a great demand for general skills. Employers look for individuals with a variety of abilities, personal qualities and technical skills to hire and keep in order to assure corporate success. Thus, it may be argued that the generic skill is more significant than soft skills, educational attainment, physical attributes and experiences, and that the generic skill should receive the most attention when assessing an individual's perceived employability. For the conclusion, we can conclude that employability is the ability to find a job when it is needed, or the ability to keep one's current job or get the job one wants. Meanwhile, individual perceived employability is defined as their perception of their ability to obtain and maintain employment. Hence, the importance of understanding the factors that can enhance the student career transition from higher education into the global labour market. There is now a greater impetus on the student gaining other skills while at university, relating to both their perceived employability and what skill can realistically be transferred to the workplace. This finding revealed that a strong academic accomplishment and active participation in extracurricular activities were associated with the job appropriateness and employability quality. That's all from us. Thank you.